first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming across Fox 12 Oregon's platforms. That means on those Fox 12 Oregon apps, which are great ways to follow along with what we do here and, of course, everything else here at the station. Don't forget our website, kptv.com, and a number of other places. Wherever you're finding us, we appreciate it. We are live, but sometimes my interviews may be a little bit pre-recorded, and that's what we're going to be doing right now. I got to sit down with Kathy Griffin, comedian Kathy Griffin, who is making her return to stand-up and to Portland for the first time since an incident in 2017. You could look that up. I'm sure everybody knows what that is, but this is her first time coming back here, and she does reference that in this interview, so I just want to make sure that you know. And we talk about what her show brings to the table, we talk about audiences in Portland, and just an event that people can attend. It's on February 28th at the Newmark Theatre. So we'd like to bring you all kinds of things that are happening around here. We have a wide range of discussions on this show, and this one is with Kathy Griffin. Here we go.
I am so grateful to be back doing what I love doing, which is touring. Come see me live. It's all new. I call the show Kathy Griffin, the My Life on the PTSD List Tour.
All right, good. I'm glad we got that out of the way right at the beginning. Just talk about that. So, yeah. So, since then, so you haven't toured since then. You've been out, though, on the road you've been on the road for this tour for a little while. What's it been like getting back out there?
Let me tell you, okay, I'm not blowing smoke. I swear, these audiences, it's like they're giving me a hug. They stand when I run out on stage. They stand at the end. They have been amazing. And this show, it's 2 hours. I have no opening act. Be on time. I write all my own stuff, obviously. Talk a lot about everything from my own PTSD, which of course I have to make fun of because otherwise I would cry, to some good, juicy celebrity stories. I have a great story about everything from going on vacation with Sia, the singer, to going to Paris Hilton's birthday party. And so don't worry, I take down some nice celebrities too.
Vacation with Seal. I can only imagine what that is. I mean, obviously I don't want any spoilers, but...
IA.
What was that? Oh, Sia. With Sia. I thought you said Seal. Either way, this is way better. Sia is even better. So either...
I'm determined to go on vacation with Seal.
Okay, that's yeah. So right there, you're going to be able to get that right out of the gate coming to the Kathy Griffin show. Well, I mean, tell me about, getting back out there and seeing these different crowds. So you're coming back to places like Portland. What's your experience been like in Portland before when you've been here?
Well, Portland is a great comedy city because everybody there is super smart. You can do material you can't do in the dumb cities, which you'll go and name. And, you guys are nice and weird. You're staying weird. I don't see a break in the weirdness. The weirdness continues and is embraced in a way that as a comedian is a dream. So I feel like in a city like Portland, everything's on the table. I can't really shock you people. You're beyond reproach. There's nothing I can do to shock you. Even you people didn't cancel me after the Trump head picture, and I thank you for it.
It's true. This is an embracing town. This is going to work. I mean, it is a comedy town. I mean, this is a place where there's so many different forms of comedy that come through here. And, I won't make you do a comparison to other cities. You mentioned one thing there. We'll leave that one, I guess, there. But, for going out there and, saying the last time that you went out on tour, what are some of the biggest things that you've seen change? Has anything really changed in the life of doing stand-up comedy since then?
Yes. I mean, I think that comedy is evolving in a way that I really like. There's a lot of comics that want to talk about the woke mind virus. That's not me. And by the way, keep in mind, my First Amendment rights were violated by the federal government. When I got fired from CNN, that was a private company. They have the right to do that. But when I had the President of the United States, the Attorney General, and 2 agencies within the Department of Justice trying to take me down and honestly ruin my life, and certainly my career, then that is something that I take with me into the PTSD. But I also talk about stuff like, I've overcome cancer. I got lung cancer, even though I never smoked. So I say to the audience, have any of you in any way been touched by cancer? Well, everybody claps. So then that tells me, okay, it's okay to make fun of cancer. So if I go to the oncologist's office and they call me Kathy Lee Gifford one more time, I'm just going to have. And so there is comedy in everything. I talk about my prescription pill addiction, which I'm now 4.5 years sober from. But once again, I say, okay, has anybody out there been touched by addiction? Well, everybody claps. So I talk about that too.
Well, I mean, bringing that up because a lot of times for people, those are things, they're going to hold in, keep it private. They don't want to talk about it, for whatever reason, whether it's going through cancer, that personal side, but or addiction, like you mentioned with that. Yeah. For you, though, you're talking about this out in front of everybody. So how important do you think that is, for you personally to be able to open up about all that stuff in front of a crowd of strangers, but then also to have them be able to feel comfortable enough to maybe talk about some of the things that they're going through?
Well, I think it's essential. I mean, the good news about my audiences, and I'm bragging because I'm very grateful, is I get a ton of repeat business. I have people that are going to come see me in Portland that have seen me 9 or 10 times. I don't think I've even seen a comic 9 or 10 times, but they know I've exchanged up material, and it's a relationship. And I'm really more of a storyteller than like a knockdown joke teller. And so we're kind of going on this ride together. And I go whichever direction they're steering me. Some audiences want to hear more of the celebrity stuff. Some want to hear how I coped with, I'm going through a divorce. People know what that's like to have their heart broken. And so I can kind of tell, believe it or not, I can tell by the first 5 minutes of the show what vibe that particular audience is about. And I think it's about changing with the times, Like I said, I'm not somebody that is hanging on to jokes that I did 20 years ago. I mean, I'm 64. I've been doing this for decades. I don't want to do the same jokes that I did in one of my specials 20 years ago or 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. So I like evolving, and we've entered a stage of comedy that is more sensitive, but I think that's a good thing. I don't want to misgender anybody or use a word that's going to make anybody leave in tears. I'm still hitting pretty hard, don't worry. But I like the evolution of comedy, and I think you better keep up or, move aside.
Well, and talking about that too, just getting out there in front of the crowds, because you mentioned, you can tell within 5 minutes, and that's obviously, decades of experience of knowing how to read a crowd and knowing how to do that. But I mean, you've done everything, movies, television, all the stuff.
21 specials. I'm in
21, yeah.
Records for the most specials by any comedian, male or female, living or dead.
Yeah, there we go. See right there. So what is it though that keeps you going about that 21 specials? Does it keep going in and keep going out on tour, coming back out on tour?
New material. You got to do the new material. You got to turn it around. And, so I'll turn material over during a show. I'll just start trying some new stuff. And this show is more of a show than I've ever done because I usually go out there and straight up improvise for 2 hours. I have the gift of the gab, as they call it. But this show is a little bit more of a put together show because I do take on some topics that in stand-up have been considered verboten in the past. Like I tell a story about trying to off myself. I'm not making fun of suicidal ideation, but I had it. And so I feel like I can speak to the audience in a way that hopefully is unique. And last weekend I did a show in Washington, D.C., and I had several of the heroes that protected the Capitol on January 6th in my audience. And, I gave them a standing, had everybody give them a standing ovation. And it was an honor to have them in my audience and stuff. But those guys came up to me, and the first things out of their mouth was they said, "We're really glad you told that story." And I said, "Look, it's risky every time because I don't want to be insensitive, but it is my story. Just like if I tell a celebrity story, it could be about a celebrity that you thought was naughty and turns out is nice, or vice versa." So I try to bring a unique perspective to me. So you're not going to hear the same joke at a Kathy Griffin show that you would ever be able to hear at somebody else's show, or even going to a comedy club and seeing 5 different comics. I make every bit of my act as personal as it can be, so it's different and people are seeing something different.
That's amazing. I mean, and that's only you can do that. I mean, it's your story. You're going through that, and also though to bring up all those different topics. I mean, that's a bold move, but obviously you know how to do it correctly and know how to talk to the audience and bring that to them. And people can see that on February 28th at the Newmark Theatre here in Portland. I guess final thing. What do you want? You're giving all that out there and talking about all this stuff. What do you want people to take away from a Kathy Griffin show once they leave?
I want them to have 2 hours of a respite from all of the crazy that's going on in the world so they can listen to this show, hear stories from my life that are relatable, and go, oh my gosh, this is funny crazy, as opposed to the outside world, which right now, in my humble opinion, is not so funny crazy. So I try to marry the two worlds, but that's why I keep throwing in, like I said, the celebrity stuff, the stuff where I make a fool of myself. I make fun of myself first and foremost. And I just want people to be like, okay, for a couple of hours, it took my mind off my problems, and I was really able to let loose and have some belly laughs. And of course, I won't feel like I've really done my job until someone storms out in protest.
Well, good luck in Portland. I mean, that's gonna take some work, I feel like.
No, I got no work cut out for me. I've tried it before. It's rough, but I'll try.
All right, Kathy, thank you so much for having some time to talk to us too. And just congrats on being back out there, touring, everything that you do. And you'll be here in just a little over 2 weeks.
Yeah, go to kathygriffin.com for tickets, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kathy. All right. Again, I appreciate Kathy joining us and part of those wide-ranging discussions that we have here on Fox 12 Now. You can check out all of our segments there at the Fox 12 Oregon apps or at kptv.com or the Fox 12 Now tab, or sometimes YouTube and Facebook as well. So wherever you're finding us, we do appreciate it. And we have plenty more coming up, as we do every weekday, starting at 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics. And if there's ever breaking news during those time frames, this is also the place to go. We will keep you up to date. We'll send out an alert, say, hey, tune in. We'll bring you whatever that information could be at that time. But thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler.